Hello people, we are Tottenham TV and we have an action-packed stream for you guys today. Obviously, we're going to be looking back at the Bayern game yesterday. Probably the less said about that, the better, to be honest. In reality, we're going to be doing an overlook of the squad as well. So yeah, look, it's been a fast start back to Sim's arrival back in the UK. And
take me back. Take me back to Korea. Honestly, things were going so well out there. And I've come back to this shit show. Everything's on fire. Everyone's ready to protest again. Everyone's ready to get the pitchforks out. It's all going down.
Can we just live in that like 24-hour loop when we got the here we go for Kudus and Gibbs White?
Yeah, just continuously just be there because that was bliss. That was what I think we just felt 24 hours of what a big club felt like.
Literally.
I think, and since then, it's all gone to shit.
Yeah.
Bloody Marinakis.
He literally ruined everything.
Literally.
Anyway,
Since then,
we've got a Tottenham update to get through first, and let's get into it. And we're going to start off with Frank confirming some injury news yesterday after the game. And he said he's not worried about Destiny Udogie's injury, and Tottenham will have to see whether he's fit for the start of the season in the next few days. Like, how are you not worried? Like, you don't even know the state of the player. You don't know if he's going to make the start of the season.
Ain't worried.
Not worried.
He's fine. It's like when Ange said, it's just a knock.
Yeah,
it's just a knock. I really hope it's not like that.
I know. He says that Solanke said he should be available quite soon and hoping to make the start of the season. However, he did say he was hoping to make Newcastle. He was hoping to make Bayern.
Yeah.
And now we're, 5 days away from the Super Cup. We need him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play the Super Cup. Oh, I don't think he's going to start anyway. I think Rishi starts the Super Cup. Anyway, that's for another time. Udogie, man, that injury is not good news for us because I thought he was flying in pre-season before he got that injury. I thought he had a brilliant end to last season. I think he was in great form. He was really finding that form. That all made us believe what an unbelievable left-back we have at the club. So the fact that he's picked up this injury and we don't know what's going on with it is really concerning news. Similar to last year, he missed a lot of pre-season. And I think it's just frustrating that, Frank has already confirmed we're not going to go for another fullback, which I can kind of understand given the state of the squad and the squad numbers. But it just means either we're going to have no cover for Porro, or we're going to have Ben Davies at left back if Spence is going to be covering Porro. So either situation is not a good, especially with Champions League football this season. And as well, the squad numbers as well. I don't know how we make it work if, because we can't leave Ben Davies out. He's backup left back, right? And we were saying, we'll talk about squad numbers later, but we were kind of saying Davies might have to be left out, but we can't leave him out if we're going to have to be rotating in that position. So it's a bit of a mess at the moment, that. And so Udogie being injured just compounds that. And again, we're in the same situation we were a year ago, where we're worrying about the left back and worrying about that lack of cover. Yeah. So let's just hope this injury isn't too bad. Solanke, the guy who didn't get a single injury at Bournemouth comes to Tottenham, was out for 3 months with a tweaked knee in training, and now has been out for a few weeks in pre-season. Hope he gets back as soon as possible because we're going to need him because we know Richarlison's injury prone. No sign of him leaving at the moment, but we know he's one who can't be relied upon. So we need Solanke, and it's a shame we haven't been able to see how he would do in the Frank system yet because he just hasn't been available. So worrying stuff, to be honest, compounded by all the other problems we have.
Yeah, and one of those other problems is Kulusevski, and Frank confirmed he's out for a long time. So whatever a long time means, we don't know, which you do assume it's going to be probably November at the very earliest.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I wasn't getting excited by that report yesterday, because they never said he was going to be back in a month. They said he's going to miss the first month, which tells me, is that going to be longer? Seems like it is. I was reading a report on Twitter from this injury expert guy, and he's
good old Twitter injury experts.
He's good. He's good though. He doesn't he's a doctor.
Dr. Raj?
No, not Raj, but he was another guy. He's one of these guys who he's a doctor who looks at the pictures and the images and predicts how long they're going to be out for, and he's actually pretty accurate. He was saying with the injury Decky has, the injury recovery is about 5 to 8 months. But after recovery, to get back to your best, it takes a long time to get back match fit after you've recovered. And he said he wouldn't be surprised if he's not match fit till December. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, considering Maddison just done his ACL, And as well, Decky, did he just come back from injury when he did his injury? When he did his knee last?
He was
last
back for
season?
a few weeks, but then he came back. Yeah,
Yeah, it was his first start. I remember, wasn't it? Just before the Europa League game. So we just can't catch a break with these players, and two vital players being
Over the
out.
years, it always seems to be like in the same position. We always get a double blow, don't we? And
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. And that just, compounds the fact why we need a number 10 so desperately at this moment in time. Because at this moment, you're pretty much talking about Bergvall's are pretty much our first choice 10, or Pape Sarr. Like,
Yeah.
we're just it's just unbelievable. But look, that's the injury situation. Let's move on and talk about a few confirmed deals. First up is Yang Min Hyuk, who has joined championship side Portsmouth on loan for the season. So look, we wish him the best. He went to QPR last season, back in the championship this year with Pompey. So let's hope he can do well there.
Yeah, I kind of feel it's a bit of a shame he's not going back to QPR, because apparently they did like him there, and apparently as well, because he was in London, he was actually able to train sometimes on his days off at the Tottenham training ground. So that obviously would have been a benefit to him to keep those surroundings. So it's a shame that didn't happen again. But who went to Portsmouth recently? Was it Scarlett? So we had a couple. We had him go there recently. Let's just hope he has a good loan spell and plays more regularly and starts adjusting to life in England. I think it was a good loan spell at QPR, but it was a difficult one. I think, fairly mixed and struggled to get consistent starts. So let's just hope. I think in pre-season, he had this little cameo against Luton. He looked bright. Against, Newcastle, came off the bench. And he had that moment, did he? Went through one-on-one and just put it too far wide, and then the chance was gone. That was quite frustrating.
He's got a hell of a lot of pace around him.
He's fast, but he just needs to work on those fundamentals, I guess. And I think he's an exciting talent, so I'm going to keep an eye on him. Yeah,
absolutely. And it does seem like with these loan moves that we're doing, like, is these clubs that we love working with. So Portsmouth, Dane Scarlett went there, and now Yang's gone there. Oxford, Dane Scarlett went there, and now who's gone to Oxford?
It's Lancashire.
Lancashire's gone to Oxford. And who else? Notts County, George Abbott went last year, and we've got Tyrese Hall that has gone there this year. So it seems as though we're just like picking these same clubs that we're sending out on loan.
And I didn't get to talk about Abbott, but just quickly, he went to Wickham, didn't he? And he went to Wickham just after he played against Wickham.
Yeah.
So do you reckon they just took one look at him like, we'll take him, we'll take
him in, get him in. All right, let's talk about the next done deal, which is Alfie Devine. Spurs released that they're delighted to announce that Alfie Devine has signed a new contract with the club and joined Championship side Preston on loan for the current campaign. And it's also worth noting in that deal there is an option to buy in there. So Spurs have signed him on a new contract plus given an option to buy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this deal, because the main reason I don't know how I feel about it is because of the current situation in the squad. So if Devine stays, is he club trained?
If Devine stays, is he club trained? I imagine so.
Yeah, I don't see why not, right?
He's been at the club since like
16.
15,
so,
16.
We've let Donnelly go on loan. We're now letting Devine go on loan. We're lacking creativity and attacking flair in that kind of midfield. I'm not sure if Devine really represents that. I definitely think Donnelly does, but would there have been an opportunity for one of them to stay right now, just until January, until Decky comes back? Because we're lacking numbers, and they wouldn't take out our squad space.
Yeah.
So it's a bit. I know it's probably better for his development, but I think there might have been opportunities here from now till January for one of them.
For me, more Donnelly than Alfie. I think Donnelly has shown more. I think in the past year, particularly with his loan spell at League One, with Leyton Orient, and also his performance against Man City. However, this surely means that Spurs are working on, additions coming in. But even with an addition, I think I still would have kept someone like Donnelly around. So I was saying to Brian last week, there was no reason not to keep Donnelly around until at least January.
Yeah.
So.
And but now Donnelly went, right? Devine's still here. Maybe give him an opportunity and see what he can do.
Well,
I know he's gone now as well, but it's just a bit frustrating that we're needlessly leaving ourselves short, where maybe we could have just given one of these guys a chance.
Yeah, but with Alfie Devine, though, it clearly says where the club sees him right now if they're willing to put an option to buy.
Yeah, that's also true. And there was rumours, they're willing to sell. So maybe they don't believe he's ever going to be ready, or maybe they believe he's not at the level to be a Premier League player, and they're doubtful. So it obviously depends on how much that option to buy is. I know if we're talking of the rumours, how much they're willing to sell was about 6 million, if I remember, to Millwall they were talking. So I'm guessing option to buy something similar to that, which is not a great fee for someone of who we're highly thought of, but it's unfortunate. Wish him the best. Do you reckon there's any chance he comes back though? It's unlikely when you put an option to buy in, but if he smashes it, is there a chance like we tell Divine, look, if you reject, if they activate the clause and we tell Divine, look, you've done so well, we want to give you an opportunity, maybe he just says, all right, I won't go.
Yeah, I think there is an opportunity if Spurs do say that to Alfie, but we have to wait and see how he does in this year. And I think he's going to do very well for Preston in the Championship, and I hope he does, because he's a player that I really had high hopes for ever since we bought him. Last year in the pre-season under Ange, he looked really good in certain games. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that there is an option to buy in there, but we'll see what happens. Apparently
in his contract, they've added a year with an option of another year as well. So look, clearly it's just to retain his value, but I wonder, that's quite interesting. That option implies maybe that's for if he does stay.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
of course it is. All right, next up, we are going to talk about our second longest serving member of the squad, Mr. Brian Hill. Corriere dello Sport says that Fabio Paratici has contacted Bologna's sporting director Giovanni Sartori to facilitate a deal for Brian Hill. Bologna are now keen on the player, who Tottenham are willing to loan out with an option to buy. This option would then become an obligation if certain conditions are met. This may include Brian Hill signing a contract extension with Spurs first.
I am just so sick of talking about Brian Hill. I've got nothing against the guy. We have had this same conversation for 4 years, pretty much. It's just leave.
The funny thing is, he's got a year left in his contract. But I guess if we do this with an obligation, it's similar to the Højbjerg deal.
I hope it's an obligation. Every time he seems to get a deal.
It doesn't matter if it's an obligation or not, because if we send him out on a straight loan, his contract's done at the end of the year.
I know, but if you put an obligation on,
you get some money,
you get money. I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear Brian Hill's name. It's nothing against him. It's just every summer Brian Hill's going to leave. He's going to do this, going to do that, and he goes on loan. I just can't be bothered anymore. It's been so long. You're not going to play for Tottenham.
Sim, have some respect for our longest serving player. Second longest serving player, man.
How many games has he actually played? He even played 10.
That's the Brian Hill situation. Now we come into potential incomings, and we're going to talk about Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea. Sam Wallace of The Telegraph says that Tottenham will compete with Newcastle to sign Nicholas Jackson if Richarlison is to leave. Fabrizio Romano says that Jackson is a target for Spurs if Richarlison leaves. Chelsea will start the valuation at £80 million. I can guarantee
start the bidding,
that.
80 million.
Yeah, what's the bidding going to end at? What's the
no
bidding
takers, all right,
70? 60, 50, 40, 30.
Loan?
But I think Chelsea, kind of with the signings that they've brought in, they're desperate to get rid of Nick Jackson now.
They always seem to get good fees for all their players, don't they? They seem to find a way.
Newcastle are looking obviously at a lot of options right now in that position. I think they need 2 strikers to come in before the end of the window, because they just don't have a number 9 right now.
I actually don't mind Nick Jackson.
I think that he gets a lot of over-criticism.
Because
he misses a lot of chances. He's not a clinical player, but he still scores a decent amount of goals.
That's it.
He's got brilliant attributes. He's strong, he's quick, he can get in behind, but it's just he gets clowned upon for the kind of gilt-edged chances that he does miss.
Yeah, it's because he gets himself a lot of chances, because he's very athletic, he's very strong, he's fast. So he gets himself in a lot of positions to have those chances. And so what did he have last season? 14 Premier League goals? 13? So it's not terrible. 13 goals and 5 assists for a 24-year-old striker is not horrific. I mean, it's not amazing, but and obviously he misses a lot of chances. But I think there is a lot of potential there. I guess maybe he's got a case of the Darwin Núñez's in a way, but maybe he just gets more goals than Darwin does. But I think the season before, maybe he got similar, like 14 goals. So the guy does score, and he scores fairly regularly, and he's a hard worker, a good presser. And he's one, even you watch him against some of the better teams, he's a handful. He always seems to cause trouble and get himself in positions to score. He's definitely not like Solanke. He's like the anti-Solanke in terms of like Solanke can go 10 games without a shot on goal, whereas Jackson's always going to be like involved, always going to be getting shots and stuff. But I guess Solanke doesn't have the kind of miss catalogue that Jackson has.
I'll tell you what, if this was like a couple of years ago, and he's had these kind of seasons for Chelsea at like the age of 22, I would have taken him. But at 24, I know he's still got some development to do, and you reach your prime realistically at like 26, 27 and beyond. but still, like, I don't know, man.
I think
Nicholas
he's
Jackson,
an upgrade on Richarlison, isn't
You
he?
think he's an upgrade on Richarlison?
I
Maybe
think
just because
so.
he stays fit.
I think physically, I think he's quicker, he's stronger.
He is from that aspect. But crazy to think about it, I actually think Richarlison's probably got a better goals to minutes ratio than him.
Yeah, probably. Also, I don't know about what's going on with Rishi. You know, we're a lot beginning of the summer, we're all like, yeah, he's, you know, we're happy to sell and he's, you know, maybe he's going, but there doesn't seem any indication at the moment.
I know, but there's no indication about anything right now.
Yeah, I know, but
anything.
yeah, true. I don't know. Maybe it's one that will come out of the blue. It's
I
very
think it
possible.
will, and I think most of the stuff with Spurs this summer has come out of the blue.
I think Frank likes him.
He might like him, but there's just no guarantee to keep him fit, and that's the problem.
I think he's staying. I've got a feeling he's staying.
I think Frank likes Bissouma as well. Doesn't mean Bissouma's going to be staying.
No, but he's got 1 year left. I think Frank. Look, Bissouma, yes, but we already have assigned a replacement for him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not writings on the wall there. It's not the same with Rishi.
I think Spurs have been trying to get rid of Rishi for a few years now, and I don't think it's going to stop here. It's just about if there's going to be any takers. I just don't think Spurs, whether Frank likes him or not, I just don't think Spurs in themselves trust him to stay fit. That's the reality. So,
All
as
Spurs
much as-
fans don't. That's
yeah,
for sure.
and I probably the hierarchy and people behind Frank don't either. So I like Richie. I like his mentality. I like his attitude. His goals per minutes ratio is actually pretty decent. I just think it's time to move on.
I don't disagree. I actually agree with you. I'm just saying I've got a feeling he's staying. From
The only reason he would stay is I think because we don't get the offers that
Yeah.
he wants to go to,
and I think we might not.
which is frustrating.
But in terms of Jackson, yeah, we're not paying 80 million. Maybe look, if we get say 25, 30 for Rishi, and we're happy to take it, and he's happy to go to that club, then I wouldn't mind getting Jackson, but it's going to have to be like 45 at the very, to maybe 50 the very max. I can't see more than that. 55 for someone like Jackson would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Nico Pats once again, as Guillermo Rey, who is the athletic correspondent for Real Madrid, says that Tottenham have not bid for Nico Paz, but they are interested. Jack Pickbrook says that Tottenham are considering a move to Nico Paz, but no bid has been made yet. And Fabrizio Romano says that Tottenham have asked about the Nico Paz situation. However, this hasn't been even reached the player's agents yet. His plan has always been to stay at Como this season, and that's been the idea since the start of the market.
Yeah, not doesn't sound too encouraging, does it? It sounds like a very difficult deal to do when you include the Real Madrid clause and all this kind of stuff. So unless it sounds like unless we overpay, we're not going to get him, and Tottenham do not like to overpay. So that tells me this is probably a no-go, but I would love it to happen. I really hope Tottenham prove me wrong and we make a bid and we get him in. And we are in desperation mode at the moment. So,
You say we don't like to overpay. We just overpay on the wrong players.
Yeah, it's also true. But yeah, I would like to get Pats in. I think he's a player who would fit right in this team. And
I saw a report saying that Como are trying to get this clause off his contract from Real Madrid, but I mean, that's never going to happen.
I don't know if that even affects us positively. Hopefully, I don't know.
I think it would affect the buying club positively because I think Como would probably accept a bit less to what they were probably going to accept.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we have brought you today.